Oh, baby. I'm going to take a closer look here at the Blake Coleman goal that was called back late in Game 5, setting up a series-winning overtime for the Edmonton Oilers. And the official ruling is there was a distinct kicking motion. Now I'm going to turn to the rulebook really quickly to Rule 49, kicking. Rule 49.2 says a goal can't be scored by a player using a distinct kicking motion, with one of the caveats being subsection 4. A goal will be disallowed if the puck deflects off a player's skate or deflects off his skate while he's in the process of stopping. So the first thing I'd look at is, was he trying to stop? Because if so, nothing else matters. It would be a good goal. If he wasn't stopping, that's when you get into, was it a deflection or a distinct kicking motion? How can you really determine what was going through a player's mind? And the truth is, you can't. You have to go with what the video evidence tells you. And where most people are looking is obviously the moment when the puck hits the skate and goes into the net. Was that done with the intent to stop or not? And looking solely at that moment, it's pretty hard to tell. I have my own opinion, but I could see how someone would go the opposite way. But to me, it's equally important what Coleman was doing to get into that position in the first place. This overhead view gives us a pretty good idea on that, I feel. Now remember, no matter what's about to happen, no matter what happens from here, Coleman is supposed to make a reasonable effort to avoid the goaltender. We don't know where that puck is going to end up yet. Coleman certainly doesn't know yet. Right now, for all anyone knows, Mike Smith has that puck safely tucked away under his arm against his body. Any contact here is going to be questionable at best. Now, as I mentioned when talking about the Kadri-Binnington collision, for example, Coleman does not have to stop. People have that idea that you need to try and come to a stop. No, he just has to try and avoid the goalie. And he needs to make a reasonable effort to do so. And that's important here. Sometimes, though, all that means is turning onto a path away from the goalie as opposed to stopping altogether. So let's roll the footage and see what Coleman does. His back left foot is tied up with Cody Ceci, but he gets it around and his right foot makes a clear directional change, toes pointing to the corner away from Smith. But as we know, he is going to make contact with Smith's pad. You could argue he's showing signs of trying to stop, and you could argue Ceci is guiding him into Smith, but watch what happens to Smith. He's not driven back at all or spun around violently. He spins some, but it's more of a glancing blow. I mean, look at it from the side here. Does this look like a man digging in, trying to stop? No, it doesn't. Now, to drive the point home, Blake Coleman and Cody Ceci are both 200 pounds. So if you're telling me Coleman tried to stop here to avoid the goalie, there should have been 200 pounds of pressure on that pad. And if you're telling me he couldn't stop because of Cody Ceci, that's even more. Now, that obviously didn't happen. And I know what you're thinking. Who cares? That's not the moment in question. But to me, it says a lot. That tells me with absolute certainty that Coleman's intent at this moment wasn't to stop, it was to turn. And fair enough, he doesn't need to stop there. But if you're not stopping right here, if you're simply in the process of turning when you had every opportunity to stop or turn away just prior to the puck being loose and chose not to, and in the process you did not make a reasonable effort to avoid the goaltender, based on the evidence, is it reasonable to assume the intent is to continue that already initiated turn here, not to stop? Also, he's clearly got eyes on the puck, and when his stick gets tied up, that's the moment his leg kicks out. The timing of everything screams attempt at the puck, not an attempt to stop. Now, what it comes down to is this is not a deflection of a player driving the net. There is a distinct extension of the leg. Whatever Coleman did, it propelled the puck forward as opposed to just redirecting it. So it has to be ruled either a player trying to stop or a distinct kicking motion. It's one or the other. And I'm not surprised at all that they determined this to be a distinct kicking motion. It's not wrong to come to that conclusion based on this entire build-up to that moment, indicating turn, not stop. The only thing I am a little surprised at is they found it convincing enough to overturn a good goal called on the ice. But I support it.